Absolutely beautiful.
Greetings, fellow whiskey admirer. Today marks the 12th chapter in your month-long whiskey adventure at Hotel Flaviar. We trust that you have a pen at hand to capture your thoughts in the provided tasting booklet as you delve into another day of exquisite tasting. Let's begin. Tonight, the night unveils its splendor at the hotel's observatory, much like the rarest of whiskeys slowly revealing its complexities in a crystal glass. Here beneath the celestial ballet of the Aurora Spiritualis, you gaze deep into your Starward Nova single malt whiskey sample. Let our whiskey expert unravel its flavor constellation.
Starward Nova malt whiskey is a testament to what a lush vision of whiskey can become when forged in the vibrant heart of Australia. Born from Melbourne's dynamic climate, where multiple seasons dance through a single day, Nova matures twice as fast within barrels that once cradled Shiraz, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Pinot. These barrels are carefully chosen to preserve the essence of the wine and oak, enhancing the whiskey's character. The result is a rich, palatial flavor profile, an audacious red renegade that stands proudly alongside the giants of the whiskey world despite its youthful vigor. David Vitale, a visionary from Melbourne, established Starward Distillery in 2007, drawing on local barley and barrels from Victoria's vineyards to create a whiskey that is unmistakably Aussie. Crafted with a nod to tradition, yet unbound by it, Starward Nova continues to look to new horizons.
So lovely to see you back here at Whiskey Hotel Flaviar. Unfortunately, we are already halfway through our stay, but today we have a wonderful dram to celebrate that with Starward Nova. What a special time we're having. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. Every day, another special surprise to open. Today, from the other side of the pond, all the way out to Australia, this is a beautiful whiskey that has been matured in wine casks. The great thing about Australia is they really do have their own mini industry where they're able to draw on the huge wine industry and utilize all of those beautiful, fresh, fruity casks for their whiskey maturation. And as stated there as well, we know that the barley itself is local to Australia as well. Really, really interesting stuff. This is bottled at 41% ABV. Straight away, the color of it, you might notice, has some slightly darker tints, almost a little bit of a redness to it. It's slight, but if you've been keeping an eye on the color of the drams as we've gone, you will notice. It is not an overly thick dram. As I'm swirling it around here in the glass, it doesn't coat the glass with legs, but Starward is a brand I know well, and trust me, I think we're all going to really, really enjoy this one. So, slanch of out, let's get stuck in. And straight away, on the nose, we're getting those beautiful, fruity notes. And it's not just your standard orchard fruits that you might expect from malted barley that's been matured and distilled in a certain way, but it is those wonderful red summer fruit notes. Raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, cranberries. Some of it dried fruit, but a lot of it very, very fresh and vibrant. Absolutely delectable. For a 41% whiskey, there's actually an awful lot to this. And it's not really that surprising, often we see drams that are watered down to 40, 42, 43%. Sometimes they can be a little bit thin, but you can really tell that there are heaps of flavors coming out of this dram. We talk about oak here in our wonderful book. I'm actually getting more of almost like a forest floor element. There's something quite unique about this dram on the nose. Let's get stuck into the palate and see what we think though. Again, bursts of those ripe summer's fruits. Absolutely delectable. And there are still quite a bit of tannins in this dram, which is hardly surprising given that they have been matured in fresh wine barrels. The tannins do become slightly drying, but I think it's wonderful how they have brought this down to 41%, making it that much more approachable, that much more enjoyable. It's not going to suck the moisture out of your mouth as a lot of these wine matured whiskeys sometimes do. I would also note that this whiskey is a lot creamier, almost reminiscent, similar style somewhat to an Irish style whiskey, particularly on the nose. Really, really delectable. The fruits do start to become more tropical towards the back end. You've got a little bit of guava, a little bit of papaya, just to name a couple. I mean, there are hints of a lot of tropical fruits going on there. What's really wonderful as well, though, is that oakiness. Very soft spices, but really, really wonderful oak notes. It adds structure. It adds quite, I think this is what makes the dram so well balanced. Between those fruity elements, those sweetness, you have got the oak as the backbone of the dram. And again, I know I've said it a few times, even if you're sharing this with a partner here at the hotel, do try and keep at least a little bit of each dram, because it's wonderful to come back to them. Trying whiskies one day, you know, in a certain mood at a certain time, you'll feel one way about it. But if there's a certain dram that maybe you don't enjoy so much, or you think you enjoy it so much you want to come back to it, do come back to it at a different time of day, you know, when you're in a different mood, and you will have an entirely different experience. That's the wonderful thing about whiskies. Each dram is very much based not only on the liquid within, but the set and setting. And I have to say, I've been enjoying so much dramming away with you for these last 12 days. It's really made my experience so much more enjoyable. Let's reference our book here. We talk about vanillas. As we've said before, you're never wrong talking about vanilla. It's not something that stands really prominent in this glass, but there is definite sweetness. And something else it talks about here is that sweetness, and I think it is more of an artificial sweetness, alongside those rich, fresh fruits, that vibrancy, and the oak. You do have that slight artificial sweetness, almost like a gummy sweet, maybe like a Haribo, if you know those. Slightly drying, as we discussed, those tannins from these wine casks, absolutely. And the spice, as I say, the spice is really light. It's in the background. It's just giving you that little bit of structure to the dram. I have to say, at 41% ABV, I'm really blown away by this whiskey. I think it's delicious, and it is definitely the sort of thing you should have on your shelves. There's so many great whiskeys coming out of Australia, but you can buy this bottle, remember, with the code on the bottle or in our beautiful book here, and you can get it at a really good discount. And I think it's a beautiful example of the types of whiskies Australia are putting out there. Starward really are leading the way. And from this, I think it's clear as to why. This is a dram for everybody. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Unfortunately, that's the dram done for the day. I'm gonna sneak off maybe to the spa and enjoy myself for a little bit. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day here at Whiskey Hotel Flaviar. We'll see you tomorrow. Sláinte.